I'm Kevin O'Hara for alcoholmastery.com. Today I just want to talk about a quote that I heard recently from, I don't know where it came across, and it was, what you leave behind is not what's written on your gravestone. And I've heard several people, self-help people in the past, talking about this, that you should sort of get yourself to the end of your life, mentally speaking, put yourself in a position where you're looking at people standing over your grave and you're listening to all the eulogies, and basically it's to try and it's an exercise in pushing yourself forward and sort of putting yourself into other people's minds, and sort of what would you like to hear them say about you, as a person, as an individual, what you achieved in life, all that kind of stuff. I think it's a great exercise. It's a great exercise for habit change, because it sort of makes you think about your life and think about your habits and think about what you're doing in a different light, especially from the perspective of the people that you care about the most and whose opinions you care about the most, right? For me, obviously it's my partner, my son, my brothers and sisters, what they think about me. It's not even what they think about me, it's the contribution that I am making in their lives, especially my partner and my son. But as an extension, on my grandchildren, obviously, and as an extension on, my wider family, my brothers and sisters, my friends, people that know me well. One of the aspects that really gets to me sometimes is just the time wasting factor. I mean, I'm 50 now, and I feel like I've wasted a whole heap of time in the past on alcohol, right? And not only on alcohol, but because of the consequences of alcohol, then you tend to limit yourself in your wider life. You tend to limit yourself in your life because you're tired and you don't really want to put yourself out there. When you've got a hangover, you don't want to do anything. The day after a hangover, you're still suffering from the hangover. You still don't want to do anything, so you get used to not doing anything. And I got into so many different habits over that period over most of my life, and one of them was watching TV, and it's one that I haven't really successfully got myself out of, but this is one of the parts that I'm working on now, trying to do something more productive for myself. And there's nothing wrong with watching TV, don't get me wrong, but I watch a lot of TV. So, it's turned into my default relaxation thing. And what I want to do is read. That's what I enjoy doing most, is what I really get lost in. But because it's a default for me, it's a thing that just I turn to every night. And I can go through 3-4 hours. I mean, I can go through a full day of watching a particular, if I get into a series. Recently rewatched Breaking Bad. I rewatched The Walking Dead. I rewatched Game of Thrones particularly. And I can watch one episode after another, and I can really get hooked into it, to the detriment of everything else. So it's a part of my life that I really want to sort of get a grip on and move away from, right? So that's one way to look at this. What you leave behind is not what you leave on your gravestone, is what you do in your life. Is the time waste. So, look for areas of your own life where time is being sucked out with no real gain for you. You can still relax. So I was talking about this yesterday to Esther, that we're sort of pre-programmed, as we grow up to think about relaxation in a certain way. And people say to us, well, you have to relax and stuff. So if I say to somebody, well, look, I'm watching too much TV, right? I'm doing this in the evenings, and I'm watching way too much TV. I'm watching 2 hours of TV a night, just for instance, right? And somebody will say, well, no, but you have to relax, and you have to do this. But it's the way that you relax. That's the main thing. It doesn't mean to say that your relaxation has to be sitting on your arse doing nothing, right? It can be something much more productive. Another area that this made me think about was just in the way that we pass on to the next generation, right? What we do now, what we learned from before, what I learned growing up from my parents was alcohol drinking, cigarette smoking was a normal part of life, right? And they didn't teach that to me, right? They didn't go, right, when you get to 16, you have to drink and you have to smoke and stuff like this. But when I did start smoking, my dad caught me smoking at 13. It was like, you're going to do it behind my back anyway. This is what he said to me. You're going to do it behind my back anyway, so you might as well do it in front of me, right? So he sort of made it easy for me to drink. And he thought he was doing a good thing, right? But it wasn't a good thing, because he just, as I say, he just made it so that, you know, it didn't need any work for me to do it, you know. I could even bum a cigarette off my dad if I wanted to, you know. Like I say, he didn't mean to do any of that. My mum didn't mean to do anything, but that's what I was taught. We're all taught in our society that alcohol and cigarette smoking, not so much the cigarette smoking now, but the alcohol, is a normal part of daily routine, daily lives. So that's what you can change with the next generation. You can break that. You can break that tie with the past. You can say to yourself, I'm not teaching my children that. I'm not teaching my children that alcohol is anyway a decent part of a normal part of society, that drinking alcohol is in any way, shape or form normal. You know, and if you think about it, you know, this is stuff that's been going back for generations, you know. My dad learned it off his dad, my mum learned it off her parents, my dad learned it off his parents, they learned it off their parents, and so on and so forth. So there's a chain of this stuff going back from now to, you know, going back generations in the past. You know, you can be the one that breaks the chain, that stops that flow of information, of bullshit information, from making any more progress into the future. It's up to you to do that, you know. So that's my video for today. It's just, you know, what your life represents is not what is written on your gravestone, right? At the end of the day, is what you do, is what you leave behind in the hearts and the minds of the people that you leave behind. You know, it's the education that you gift to other people, right? Your children and your grandchildren are going to learn through mimicry, right? And what you teach them, they're going to pass on down, and they're going to keep that chain flowing, you know, for forever, you know, if nobody breaks it, right? So you can be the one who can break that particular chain, you know. You know, we live in a society nowadays where smoking that chain has already broken, right? And it's only going to be a matter of time before more and more people don't do it. In the West anyway. I think there's still a big problem in other poorer countries in the world with smoking, but, you know, that's going to be dealt with. Hopefully it will be dealt with in a likewise manner. So anyway, that's my video for today. If you have any questions at all, any comments, leave them down below. Give us a thumbs up if you like the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. And until next time, I'm Kevin O'Hara for Alcohol Mastery. Stay safe, keep the alcohol out your mouth, onwards and upwards. Take care, good luck, bye.